No, I don't think so. I remember back in media days, everyone was asking about the Michigan State game, and I think what makes the Michigan State game such a big rivalry is when both teams are really good, and but the team up north game, regardless of records and all that, it's a big game regardless, and it's going to be a war, and no matter what the records are. So,
what do you think of the music playing nonstop?
Used to it. Year 3 of it. Yeah, we've been playing that Time for War song since Coach Meyer's first year. So everyone knew it was coming, and we're pretty used to it now. So.
Are you surprised he didn't know who sang it? He just knew he liked it. Does that surprise you?
Not one single bit. He probably has no idea who LL Cool J is.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, no idea.
You think he does it to motivate you or irritate you?
Probably both. Honestly.
Agitate.
Right. So.
Curtis Samuel saw his first offensive touches in 3 games. Obviously, Dontre going out in the Michigan State game, he comes into the kick return game. From your perspective, captain, leading the blocking, how do his contributions kind of make you guys a stronger unit?
Yeah, he can do a lot of things. He's a very dynamic athlete, very explosive, and stepping up, he's had some good kick returns, and putting the ball in his hands offensively really allows a different weapon. And you obviously have Zeke and Dontre and Jalen in them, but Curtis is just as explosive as them and powerful, and so we've seen him do it in practice, all fall camp and all season. So I think these next few years you'll see a lot of Curtis Samuel, a lot of big plays.
Jeff,
so.
If lately has this offense felt like it's in full bloom? Meaning, you've got an H-back now who's operating pretty well in Jalen Marshall. They're throwing the ball to the tight end over the middle and stuff. I mean, Ezekiel had 100 yards Saturday. JT had over 300 yards total offense again. Do y'all feel like y'all are in stride, or is there a lot more to come? I mean, what's the sense of that?
I think no matter what defenses give us, we're always going to have an answer for it. I think it's kind of where we're at now. Running the ball, throwing the ball, JT making plays. We have so many dynamic athletes on the offense. We can kind of, do what we want and, also do what the defense gives us, which is, sometimes in football, consists a lot of just doing, what the defense will give you. And so, yeah, I think we're at that point where, really no matter what we got to do, we can execute it and, execute it well. So,
was there ever a sense last year when y'all were in that game and all of a sudden they're coming back? Were you stunned? Were you surprised? I mean, y'all were a pretty big favorite last year and stuff. And I'm just wondering, what did last year's game teach y'all about a rivalry?
I think it's just, no matter what the records are, no matter what, what they're ranked or whatever, it's going to be a big game. And it's been like that way, way before I got here, and it's going to be like that way after I leave. And so I think that's, the biggest thing we got to go, take going into this week is it's going to be a big game regardless of the rankings or what people say it is, and, the spread and all that, and you can't pay attention to all that when it comes to this game. So
have an idea what your emotions are going to be like your last game in the stadium?
How do you want to think about that right now?
Has it flown by though?
Yeah, it honestly has. Especially, I got a text from Coach Tressel, last night, and just thinking back to, 4 years ago, when I showed up here, it's just crazy how quick it goes, and it's been awesome though, man. I love it here. I have no regrets. So.
What did the text say?
Well, next question. No.
Is there a stage that you reach where there's so many distractions, they kind of even themselves all out? I'm wondering about Michigan in particular. There's so many questions up there right now, of course, about the coach's future and things like that. Does it affect the players at all, or is it already they've got enough on their plate, they're already thinking about the game, executing a game plan?
Them up there or us?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I don't really know what it's like inside that locker room up there. I don't know many of the guys up there, so I really haven't talked to anyone.
For a typical player, when you
definitely, yeah. Obviously, turning on the TV every day and seeing your coach being
right.
under such fire and stuff. Obviously, I think it obviously affects you a little bit. To the extent, I don't know how much. I don't know what I don't know what the locker room is up there. I don't know the feeling the players have towards the coach. So,
but even for you guys, at some point, college football playoff rankings and finishing with one loss, winning streaks, blah blah blah. After a certain point, Does it all kind of like it's way too much and it doesn't
Right.
matter?
I mean, it's just one of those things, you can't control it, so you really can't worry about it. The only thing you can control is go out and, play the best you can every week. And so, those college rankings and all that stuff's always going to take care of itself. And, I mean, we don't make those, and, the only thing we can do is go play as hard as we can. And so I think that's what we've been doing.
What do you expect that you'll get from them on Saturday? Like, what Michigan team do you think shows up?
I don't know. I just hope it's a good game. It's my last game in the horseshoe. So obviously we're just going to go out and play as hard as we can, and we'll see. Hopefully it'll turn out in our favor.
Jeff, when you think about this is your senior day, what is it that gets you? Is it that there were some ups and downs, that you started with one coach and you're at a different one, or is it just that you loved it so much and you don't want it to end? What is it?
Probably I just loved it so much I don't want it to end. I love college, man. I love Ohio State. I honestly just don't want it to end. But it's been a good ride, and all good things come to an end, and move on to the next chapter. It's gone by so fast too. It seems just like yesterday I showed up for the first day of class, and Braxton and I had to be. We were so cold. We called Coach Gillum and made it drive us to class because we were like, we ain't walking to class in this. And so it's just gone by so fast, man. And but like I said, I have no regrets, man. I loved it, every minute of it. So.
Have you maximized the college experience?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Is clock management going to be a focal point for you guys? Because obviously late in the games last year, Carlos, Braxton,
Right.
You guys score quickly,
Right.
and allow the other team to come back. Is that going to be something to focus on during the week of practice?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I think that's kind of above my pay grade. I think the coaches, they'll figure that out, and I don't really call the plays. I just I just run them. But
Jeff,
going back to Rusty's question about just you've been here when a coach is under fire a little bit. How do you think, if you could put yourself in Michigan's players' shoes, you would approach? Would there be any difference playing if you knew your coach was on the hot seat? And I mean, how would that impact the way you would approach playing that game?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know the locker room, but if they do like the coach and like how he operates and everything, then yeah, they are going to be out there playing for him and playing to try and keep his his job there. And but then, like I said, I mean, it could be the opposite. I mean, maybe what I'm saying. Maybe they just don't care. You just really don't know. So it's all kind of the mindset of the players and how they think the whole kind of the whole program's run with the head coach, which I don't know. So I mean, yeah, they can use it in a few different ways. So.
Jeff, you've had your share of adversity personally this year with the foot and not getting the ball up time. How would you kind of evaluate your season personally?
I'm having a pretty good season. We're winning, so I can't complain. Just doing my job, whatever the coaches asked me to do. That's kind of how I've always operated, and really never complain and just kind of go about your business and keep your mouth shut, and good things will happen. And I've learned that over the years, so it's kind of what I've been doing.
Has it been everything you hoped it would be this year?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're like we said, we started the season, competing for championships in November, and we're right in the heat of the thing, and so we're obviously going to be there, and not this weekend, but next weekend we'll be in Indianapolis, and after that we'll see what the rankings, what they can do for us, and go from there.
What kind of psychological vice does this put y'all in, though? You've clinched the Big East title, the Big Ten East title. I keep saying that B1G in my head. The Big Ten East title. Right. You play for the championship next week. This game, how would you explain what this game is about this week, and what the motivation?
I mean, it's the game. It's that was kind of installed in me when I first got here, and it's kind of been that way since the whole way. It's just kind of the biggest game of the year, and I think it's important. It's always been like that here, and it'll be like that when I leave. And so I mean, I don't think there's any kind of looking forward to anything. I think it's all on this week, and we'll worry about next week. So.
What do you know about Michigan's defense at this point, Jeff? No one's asked that. It's the only time we'll get to talk to people this week, so if you don't know and want to make something up.
I know Frank Clark, I don't think is playing. He's a very good player for them. They have some athletes on defense, like a lot of Division I football teams do, and you know, they've had some success this year, and so you know, we're gonna have to bring it. We're gonna have to bring our A game. It's gonna be a war, like it always is, and so we'll see. So,
Thanks, Jeff.
thanks, guys.
Jeff.